So today we are going to cover another interesting topic, and the topic is the neuroscience behind the chanting. From like what are the different benefits of chanting from the neuroscience perspective, and also from the Buddhist perspective. So here, some of the session, I try to connect the dots between Buddhism and modern neuroscience, modern psychology, and positive psychology. So today's session is one of them where I will try to uh, create a bridge between Buddhism and neuroscience, and I will discuss what are the tangible benefits we can get by chanting. And chanting is practiced in many religions, not only Buddhism, not only Hinduism, but even in Christianity, the chanting is there. So people do rosary, rosary beads. In Sufism also there is a chanting. In different religion, ancient religion, we have seen this practice of chanting. And in Buddhism there are many different kind of teachings. So people or the followers from the Theravada Buddhism, they follow a different kind of chanting. After, when it evolved into Mahayana and Vajrayana, Vajrayana is basically, like the merging between Buddhism and the tantric practices, and it has come from the Tibet. So then, different kind of chanting have has emerged in Buddhism as well. Like there are different kind of chanting for particular reasons. For in Mahayana, in Vajrayana, for different deities, there are chanting for compassion, like Om Mani Padme Hum, or maybe there are some chantings dedicated to some deities like Tara, even some bodhisattvas. There are some different kind of chanting. So first I will discuss from the Buddhist perspective, like what are the benefits of chanting. And in Buddhism, the chanting plays a very important role. Like I have visited many monasteries, and I have seen Buddhist monk practice a lot of chanting, and they always have this, mala. I mean, in India we call it mala. It's basically the kind of beads which they always wear, in their hand, or they always carry. And whenever they get time, they just practice chanting. Okay, fine. So in Buddhism, the chanting is used as a cultivation of mindfulness and concentration. So, when we are chanting a particular mantra like Om, 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 Om is a very popular chanting in uh, Indic religion, maybe like Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Jainism. Om is a very popular and common chanting. So when we are practicing Om, 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 basically we are focusing our mind on a particular word. We are focusing our mind, on a vocal exercise. Just give me 1 second. I think someone is speaking. I just need to increase the volume a bit. Okay, I'm just increasing everyone's volume. So in case someone has any question, I should be able to hear. Okay, great. Okay, so if you have any questions, or if you want any more clarification, you can definitely ask me any question, or you can type in the chat box, and I'll be very glad to clarify, to repeat. you know. Okay, so what I was discussing, that when we are, chanting, we are basically focusing on a particular word, on a it's a kind of vocal exercise, but it's also a exercise of focus and concentration, because we are trying to confine our attention on our particular words again and again and again. So this is how we can improve our focus and concentration power as well. And chanting also serve as a, you know important tool for developing mindfulness by keeping them, focused on the present moment. So when we are chanting, we're basically focusing our mind in the present moment into that particular chanting exercise. So it could be the sound of the chanting, and some people chant in a very silent manner, so they are not focusing directly on the sound of the mantra, but they are focusing the meaning of the mantra, or they are focusing the meaning of the chant. Okay. And again, like I told you, it built great concentration power, or a focus power, which is it's kind of cornerstone of Buddhist meditation, because I really consider Buddhism as a science, and the science of our mind. So when the Buddhism, the way, the journey of Buddha, and the way the Buddhism has evolved over the years, it's basically uh, mm, strengthens our mind. It strengthens our resilience. It strengthens our overall, mental well-being. And that is why there are so many parallels between Buddhism and modern neuroscience. And I'm very passionate about finding those connections between Buddhism and modern neuroscience, and I try to share all these things with all of you, with some research reports, and with some, facts, with some, uh, mm, proof, so that you have more faith on the practice, not just like a scriptures, not just like someone is asking you to do, but presenting you the facts, the data, and the statistics, and the research report, so that we have more faith, and we can walk on this path. Okay. uh, so also in Buddhism, the chanting, when we are doing chanting with sincere intentions, it is believed that it purify our mind and our karma. I think we all know about karma. This word has become very popular in Western world, and I think I don't need to repeat. So I'm not going to repeat what is karma. So it is believed that when we chant with proper intentions, noble intentions, and sincerity, it purify our mind, and it purify our karma. Okay. And it purify the mind from what? It purify the mind from different flaws, or we can say, different kind of negative emotions. It could be anger, it could be jealousy, it could be ignorance, it could be being upset. Okay. And it is believed to help rectify negative karmic uh, imprints. And it is believed that it can accelerate, or it can increase the fruits of, or the effects of good karma. This is from the perspective of Buddhism. It is also a very spiritual practice, right? Like chanting specific mantras or sutras. In Buddhism, there are many sutras, heart sutras. Then we have different sutras dedicated to bodhisattvas. There are different sutras dedicated to some deities. So it's a way to connect with the enlightened qualities of Buddhas or bodhisattvas. Like I told, like you all know, there is a mantra called Medicine Buddha mantra. Okay. And it is believed to invoke healing energies. But Om Mani Padme Hum, it's uh, basically focusing on the compassion. So this kind of practice foster a very strong spiritual connections, and inspire the followers to embody these virtues. And even I have read uh, Acha. So Sarin has asked a question. Let me read the question first. So, acha. Sarin says that how does one know what words to chant? Aren't people giving chants? Right, right. So in Buddhism, there is initiation. You can take initiation like formally from a Buddhist monk or from a lama or from a guru in Buddhism, and it's like a diksha. Diksha means basically initiations, and uh, he or she gives you some kind of mantra, and you can keep on chanting that. And they give you different kind of mantra based on your nature, based on your the level of sincerity, based on your life goals. Um, and for that there is a specific event where you go to the monastery. There is a small ritual, and they give you some mantras. But even if you do not get any mantras from any guru or from any lama or any monk, there are many mantras which you can keep on chanting. Like Om Mani Padme Hum is a very basic and very popular mantra, which is dedicated to the compassion and kindness. And there are even some mantras in Mahayana traditions and Vajrayana traditions, so where you can choose any mantra and you can practice. But yes, um, there are some mantras which is dedicated to particular uh, deities in Vajrayana, Mahayana. Some people say that it is better if you take the initiation from a guru and then you start chanting. But there are some mantras which are, and those mantras are like secret mantras. They do not reveal those mantra on Google or on chat GPT. So those are secret mantras. But there are many mantras um, which you can find on different Buddhist books, or maybe you can just Google what are the some popular mantras in Buddhism, and you will find many mantras dedicated to bodhisattvas, dedicated to some deities, Tara, Padmasambhava, and you can chant. And that is the beauty of Buddhism. Buddhism is not a very rigid, not a very stringent, not a very strict religion. It's not even a religion. It's a way of life, and there is no particular uh, protocol to follow something. Okay, Astra Mercedes, right? Mercedes. So Mercedes, first Sophie is saying that in the song notations here there are few versions of Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, right. So you all can chant Om Mani Padme Hum. Yeah, very very popular mantra. And Mercedes asks, might I ask you what school do you teach from? Mercedes, I usually do not teach about Buddhism. I teach about the connection between Buddhism and modern neuroscience and the psychology. But if you ask me which school of Buddhism I am inclined to, so basically I am inclined to teachings of Buddha. And in my surroundings and the most of the monasteries that I visited, the kind of people I have interacted in real life, the monks and all, they are from Tibetan Buddhism, okay, or Vajrayana tradition. So I have been associated with some people in real life. They are from Tibetan Buddhism, but I uh, try to stick to the scientific part of the Buddhism and not the religious or spiritual part of the Buddhism. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Now, uh, uh, in many Buddhist tradition, they say that chanting helps individual recognize and activate their Buddha nature, or their Buddha mind, or their Buddha state. Okay, and that is why in many monasteries you will find the monks are chanting 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening. Okay, because it is believed that it activates their Buddha nature, like the wisdom, the courage, and the compassion within themselves. And it's a gradual process. Okay, uh, it goes beyond the intellectual understanding and leading to the awakening of perceptions and understanding different natures of Buddha. Okay, in some Buddhist schools, it is also believed that chanting with clear intention, sincere heart, and loving and kindness with right action, it is believed to help manifest positive outcomes in life. So we we might get lucky if we chant with a sincere heart, and it is seen as a to equip us with the inner strength and wisdom to overcome any challenges and any difficulties, or to achieve any goals in life. Okay, and here there is one more difference which I will say. Okay, Sophie says that intersections Buddhism or Ikayana, one vehicle accepts all schools equally. Exactly, exactly. So the basic, the underlying message is same. The the essence is same, just represented through different stories, symbols, and rituals. So all the Buddhism, all the school of Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, they are portraying the same messages, but represented through different stories, symbols, and rituals. And many people think that Vajrayana, they have different heavenly deities, they have different heavenly beings, a lot of mysticism, but those are basically metaphor. Those are basically the symbols. We should not take it in a very literal manner, but these are ideas that we represent, just like mythology. Mythology is also the stories of different ideas. Like we do not know whether those god and goddesses existed, but they portray or they express specific idea, right? The same thing in Buddhism, the same thing in other religions as well. Okay? Uh, and the Buddhism, I mean the teachings of Buddha. The word Buddha means awakened. So I think you must have heard the stories. Like one boy asked Buddha, "What are you? Are you God?" The Buddha said, "No, I'm not God." "Are you a human being?" Buddha said, "No, I'm not a human being." "Are you ghost?" Buddha smiled, "No, I'm not ghost." "Are you, coming from a different planet?" Buddha said, "No, no, I'm not coming from different planet." Then the boy asked, "What are you?" The boy did not ask, "Who are you?" The boy was amazed and, baffled by seeing the Buddha, the aura of Buddha, the personality and the calmness of Buddha. And the boy asked, "What are you?" The Buddha says that I am awakened. So Buddhism is all about, like waking up from the sleep that we are sleeping right now. It's not about really all the I mean, there are many stories, there are many rituals, there are many, protocols, but at the core of that, at the heart of the Buddhism, it's basically to wake up. I think those people who have seen the movie Matrix, they can understand. I mean, they can relate. There is a scene where the Neo, Keanu Reeves, gets a message, "Wake up, Neo." Okay, and those people who made this movie Matrix, they research Hinduism and Buddhism for so many years, and then they, produced and directed this movie. No, no, it's not my place, Mercedes. It's not my place. Okay, so uh, um, right. So also some chanting in a group settings. Mainly in monasteries, you will find that hundred of monks, they sit together in a group settings, and then they chant, and that actually fosters a sense of unity and oneness, and dissolving the delusion of a separate self. Okay, anatma, that is non-self. Okay, and the energy that generated through this kind of chanting is believed to extend outwards. So they believe that this kind of chanting, where people are sitting in a group, it can impact the entire world. It can bring the global peace. It can help people suffering from different kind of calamities, from different kind of problems in life. Okay, uh, and also it contributes the well-being and the stability of the communities. Uh, there are many sutras, like there are many sutras in Buddhist scriptures that is believed to help ingrain the teachings in the mind, reshaping one's understanding and perception of reality. It's a kind of, you can say, it's a kind of way to internalize the dharma, and the cultivate wisdom, compassion, understanding, and basically, being a better person. So these are the different benefits which is mentioned in Buddhism for chanting. And now we are going to discuss that how chanting can affect our mind and body as per modern neuroscience. So as of now, any questions or any reflection? If you are getting bored, that also you can let me know. I don't want to be a boring facilitator. Okay, okay. So okay, okay. Sophie says that Sarin last Sunday. Ah, that is great. That is great. Even you will find many chanting which is like a song. I keep on listening chanting from the group of the Palm Village. I think you all have heard about Palm Village. Thich Nhat Hanh used to be the person who created this Palm Village, and there you will find many wonderful songs. These are basically hymns or sutras, but very nice to hear. Very, it gives us a instant calming effect. If you want the one which I listen, not every day, but most of the time, maybe after the session, I can send it to Sophie, and Sophie can send it to the Discord community so that you all can find. That is absolutely, a good way to start chanting. When we include some music, some rhythm, then it becomes more enjoyable. We feel like doing it, and that's what matters. If we get bored, then the chances are we will give it up after a few days. But when it is enjoyable, we keep on doing. Just like exercise, just like reading, just like playing any musical instrument, because the brain mechanism is same for all these activities. Okay, now quickly, I will just I think no one has any questions, right? Okay, then quickly I will go through now what are the different benefits we can get from the perspective of modern neuroscience. Okay, so first, uh, there are many researchers, okay, on this particular topic, and there is one person who did a research, and the name of the person is Dr. James Hatzel. Dr. James Hetzel. He was a neuroscientist, and he did some research on people who uh, practice this kind of chantings. Mostly those people who chant some Sanskrit words. And you all know that most of the mantras in Buddhism are either written in Sanskrit or written in Pali. Okay, so he has found that those people who keep on chanting different kind of Sanskrit mantras, it has shown significant structural change in their brain. Okay, so they have found that thicker gray matter in areas of brain associated with memory, attention, and speech. So those people who keep on chanting this kind of Sanskrit mantra, which we find in Buddhism, in Hinduism, in Jainism, and in Sikhism, they have thicker gray matter in areas of the brain associated with memory, that is hippocampus, right hippocampus, our attentions, and our speech. So what are the different regions which are impacted? Our prefrontal cortex, which works for better decision making, right hippocampus for memory, retentions of memory, then attention, temporal regions, and cerebellum. So this suggests that the intense verbal repetitions of this chanting of the sutras and this phonetic precision, the sound that is coming, this phonetics of these words involved in chanting can lead to neuroplastic changes. Neuroplastic changes means it helps our brain to grow new neurons, which we called neurogenesis, and it helps our brain build new connection different between those neurons, which we call synaptogenesis. Okay, and there has been research. You can Google this person, Dr. James Hertzel. Okay, also the research shows that chanting practices are can improve the connectivity between different brain regions. Okay, and because uh, it helps connecting different brain regions, it can lead to better emotional regulations and better cognitive control, better cognitive functions. Okay, also through MRI, fMRI, and EEG, these are the some sophisticated like brain scans, you can say. uh, they have found that chanting activates various brain areas. So when we are chanting, maybe Om Mani Padme Hum, or the Tara mantra, or the Manjushri mantra, or the uh, any Bodhisattva mantra. So it activates different kind of brain areas. The first brain areas which gets activated is prefrontal cortex, and the prefrontal cortex is associated with higher order cognitions, executive functions like decisions making, our attention span, and mindfulness. It also activates our limbic system. Okay, mostly amygdala and hippocampus. So amygdala is involved in emotional regulations, and hippocampus involved in memory processing and storing memories. Like chanting Om, okay, has been shown to deactivate the amygdala. That means amygdala is the brain's fear center. So when your amygdala is less active, your stress is also less, and you feel relaxed, you feel that you are safe. Okay, because amygdala always signals that you are in danger. Either you have to fight or you have to run away from the situation. That is why amygdala is called amygdala is responsible for fight and flight signals, and it contributes to our less anxiety and less stress. Also temporal lobes in the brain, that also gets activated, and it helps in processing language and auditory perception. Cerebellum also gets activated. It's linked to motor functions or motor coordinations and cognitive processing. And there is one more region which gets activated, that is medial frontal gyrus. which is related to mental concentration, okay, and spatial attentions. Spatial attentions means uh, visual spatial attentions means, suppose you are sitting in a place, you are not watching the entire surrounding. Maybe you are focused only on the laptop screen or only on a book, but your spatial attentions sees uh, the right side and the left side of your eyes, and even you are not fully concentrating on the surrounding areas of your room, still um, your attentions will be there. And if there are any changes in that place, maybe suddenly the door is open, but maybe your pet is sitting, suddenly she jumped, your reflex action will work, okay, your reflex power will work. uh, Kind of the movie Matrix, where Keanu Reeves is having a great reflex power. He's stopping the bullets, and he's, although again the movie is full of metaphors, and he's just bending his bodies. So that is basically, the spatial attention's power. I'm not concentrating on a particular place, but my attention is in the whole room. If anything changes, I'll definitely watch it, or I'll definitely be aware of it. Okay. Okay, fine. uh, then it has been found that if we do chanting, there are different brain waves, alpha waves, theta waves. So when we chanting in monotone forms, okay, uh, in the same manner with the same word, it has been consistently linked to an increase in alpha activity, which is basically 8 to 12 hertz, and theta activity, the brainwave activity, that is 4 to 8 hertz. And alpha waves are associated with relaxation, calms, and clarity. Yeah. And theta waves are linked to deep relaxation, creativity, and dreamlike states. So it also helps us relax, and synchronization of this brainwave. This chanting activates parasympathetic nervous system, and because of this we go into the relaxation mode, and it also decreases our heart rate, breathing rate, and blood pressure. Also, it has found that sometimes chanting reduce the stress hormones. We have different stress hormones like cortisols, the primary stress hormones. So they have found that even the stress hormones are controlled when we are chanting. It improves our mood, and it reduces, sometimes to some people, the anxiety and depression. Mostly those people who are suffering with PTSD or some kind of anxiety disorder or some kind of depressions, because it has a very calming effect on the limbic system. And I told you limbic system is basically having amygdala and hippocampus. And also it releases some feel good hormones or feel good neurotransmitter like serotonin and dopamine. There are some cognitive benefits as well of the chanting, like it increases our memory and attention span. And the same researcher, I told you the name, his name is Dr. James Hadzel, and he found that those people who chant this different kind of Sanskrit words, it improves both the spatial and verbal memory. It improves the attention span and concentration. Okay, it reduces the cognitive load. Okay, the chanting can reduce the cognitive load, allowing the brain to enter a more relaxed and passive state. And it also helps in overthinking or mind wandering. So because when we are doing chanting, it helps to quiet the DMN or default mode network inside our brain, which is associated with mind wandering or ruminations or overthinking. So here also it has some positive effects. Now these are all effects for our brain. Now, like psychological effect, it also have some physiological effect like cardiorespiratory synchronization. So chanting can lead to synchronization of breathing and heart rate. It also activates vagus nerve. Okay, specifically they have researched on the word called om. It stimulates the vagus nerve, which is very crucial in regulating the parasympathetic nervous system, and it improves our sleep. Okay, so these are different benefits that we get on our mind and on our body, but still the researches are going on, and if you need uh, more information, you can go to Google, you can search many different research reports you will find. Okay, so that is all for today. Now if you have any question, if you want to share your own reflection, your share your own experience, that how it felt chanting some mantras, if you have done it before, if you are doing it now, you can also share your reflection, because here in the Buddha Center we also learn from each other. We all are master here, we all are teacher here, and when we share, we learn from each other. So any reflection, questions, sharing experience, you're most welcome. You can speak on your mic or you can type in the chat box. Okay, so Mercedes says that I practice Nigma and Shingon, both speak of the root of their works is mantra and true word, which is the name of the deity in forms of the Buddha. Okay, that's great, that's great. Thank you so much, Mercedes, for sharing. My computer is very slow. If I type, it will be slow in coming. No issue, no issue. But thank you so much for sharing. I'm thinking chanting seems to be similar to focus meditation. Sophie says the object of focus is the words and the sounds rather than breath, bell, candle. Exactly, Sophie. So when we are chanting mantras, different practitioners focus on different things. Some practitioners focus on the word, some practitioners focus on the sound or the phonetics, and some practitioners focus on the meaning, and some practitioners focus on the feelings that it invokes, and all are fine. All are fine. We all are different human beings, so we need to find out which one is working best for us. So yes, yeah, you're most welcome. You're most welcome, Sophie. So whatever it helping you, you can just continue. Like if you find that the focus is on words and the sounds, that's fine. Okay, the main idea is to practice, keep on practicing every day. That is the this is how we will improve, and gradually we will have more clarity and we will have more benefits of chanting this mantra. So now we know that chanting this mantra is not only for spirituals or religious purpose, but also it has profound effect on our psychology and physiology. Okay, any other reflections, or you would like to share something? You can speak on the voice as well. I have increased all of your volume, so if you are comfortable, you can speak.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Good evening, Mercedes. Yeah, please.
Give me a second here. I'm going to clean something up in my head. What I do in the root of practice, Vajrayana says that the nature of all forms of Buddhism are the inception of the Bodhi, which is the seed. So where you are in your life or where you are in your journey is where you belong, and what school you understand gives you understanding to the Buddha's light. When you practice non-meditative Buddhism, you are involved in the becoming of that particular deity, or understanding that deity. When you're practicing mantra, you're calling on the name of that deity so that deity will possess you, not control you, but like become part of you. And then in that you become aligned with what you are. The nature of Vajrayana says in Shingon, for instance, is that you're calling on the Brahmin Siddhamic script, which is the original language of the name of the deity that you're attuning yourself to. So not to say we need to demystify the truth, but to reflect on what naturally is representative of the mantra itself. So, for instance, when I first started Buddhism, which was probably about 6 years ago, I had been practicing Christianity for about 35 years. And then I discovered that within Buddhism, the nature of Chenrezig is the essence of the lotus itself. The process of the word spoken by Om Mani Padme Hum is the relation to this to the spirit, or the dharma as it flows through inside of us when we're creating that chant. That creates neuroplasticity so that we become aligned with that particular name, because that's what the name of the mantra is the name of that particular deity. I found it interesting when I did that I started feeling like I was somehow becoming the memories of that being, that person. And I think that in relation to Theravada and Mahayana and within Ekayana, the idea is that even in Sattvarvakti, which is the nature of the spirit, is that we are understanding that the Buddha itself is within us and that we are outside of the Buddha because the Buddha is the essential nature of reality. One other thing I wanted to say before I shut off my voice is that the reality that we experience is the Buddha itself. So within it, we become the children of Buddha. If we take on the seed, there is no doctrine that is false. It is all just the relationship of our mind expressing itself so that we might know who we really are inside on our journey. Thank you for letting me reflect.
Thank you so much, Mercedes, for your wonderful reflections. I think Mercedes has touched upon so many important points. Like she said that when we are chanting a particular mantra for a particular deities, what we are basically doing, we are, planting some seeds. And what we our aim is to embody different qualities of that deities, and that is what is the aim of different school of Buddhism, mostly Mahayana and Vajrayana, what is Tibetan Buddhism. And like it's basically when you are chanting, suppose the mantra of Tara, the compassionate Tara, you are basically embodying the qualities of compassionate Tara. So uh, it was a very nice reflection, Mercedes. We are very grateful for you. And also, Mercedes says that we all are the children of Buddha. Exactly, like it is said that in the eye of the Buddha, we all are Buddha, because Buddha can see that same divine potentials which exist in all of us. So we all are potentially Buddha, and like yes, we can just consider ourselves as a future Buddha, because we all have that potentials. And chanting any chanting any mantras is basically like planting the seed of that consciousness, planting the seed of that quality. And after some time it becomes, even we mechanically chant some mantras, after some time, the moment we chant any particular word, that feeling, that sense, we invoke, we try to invoke that qualities of that deity. So sometimes it's metaphors, sometimes it's symbolics in natures, and sometimes it's just like being a better human being. So if you see all the deities in Buddhism, they all have some specific qualities, and by chanting the mantra of that deities, we are trying to embody those qualities and being a better human being. And also like Mercedes says that Buddhism, it's about building a personal relationship with Buddha. Like Buddha is my friend. Friendship is one of the purest relationship in the world, because it's unconditional in nature. So thank you so much, Mercedes, for touching upon so many points and sharing your own journey about your Buddhism for last 6 years. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else would like to share your experience with chanting mantras? I think Sophie has written something. Thank you for sharing that. It helps me understand those schools better. Okay, okay, great. Thank you. Anyone else who would like to share something? You can even, type in the chat box. Oh my God, I have taken so much time today. I hope you guys were not bored. I'm very sorry. I sometimes when I start speaking, I lose the awareness of time. Okay. Any reflections? Okay. Thank you so much, Sarin. Thank you so much. And I was just wondering, okay. I was just wondering, I'm trying to start. I'm not a master. I'm an eternal student. Dark. I'm an eternal student. Okay, so I was just thinking that if like some of you are regular in my sessions, and I'm going to, start some training in corporates where I'll teach the same thing what I'm teaching to you about how we can have a better mental health, how we can have better resilience, how we can have a better emotional well-being. So if any of you are comfortable to giving, some kind of testimonials or some kind of feedback, I can share my LinkedIn profile. It will help me to get the feedback from you, and even in future also I can look at them and I can smile. So whatever you feel like, because most of you are attending these events for last 5 sessions, 6 sessions, 7 sessions. So if you're comfortable, sharing the feedback or the testimonials, whether it was good or bad, that is fine. You can share on my LinkedIn profile. Okay, I will just share my LinkedIn profile link. You can send me the friend request, I will accept, and then you can share any feedback, good or bad. Both will help me on my LinkedIn profile. My real life name is this is my real life name. It pronounced as Shumanto. It's a Sanskrit word. It's a weird Sanskrit word. So in LinkedIn, you will find this particular name. Also, the Bodhi is mentioned. Okay, I have also mentioned Bodhi because I have many second life sessions where my name is Bodhi. So if you feel fine, you can go there and you can write any feedback or any testimonials. Okay, I'm just sharing my link. Yes, yes, I'm Indian. Yes, I'm Indian. I was born Hindu, but later I became a Buddhist. Okay, hola, ¿cómo estás? I just know a few words in Spanish, not much. Okay, so this is my LinkedIn profile. If you are comfortable, you can go there, send me a friend request, and you can just share your testimonials or feedback. Okay, okay. Wow, great, great. So I think most of the people in Second Life are from America or Europe, but lately I have seen many people from Asian countries, also some people from Africa. But when Second Life first started, I was in Second Life in 2008 with a different avatar. Most of the people I have met in are American, maybe because Second Life is an American company. Yeah, yeah, people from everywhere. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for coming and attending the sessions and having patience throughout the last 45 minutes. And again, I'm telling you, the giving the feedback or the testimonials on my LinkedIn profile, it's not mandatory. Just because I'm embarking on a corporate training journey where I will teach the similar things about mental health, how we can improve our focus, how we can improve our resilience. It would help me to gain some perspective that how all the members are liking my session, but it's not mandatory. If you do not feel comfortable, please do not do that. Okay. Yeah, I have heard. Maybe next day we can discuss Mercedes. Maybe next day we can discuss about stupa meditation. I think not all people know about stupa, so next day 5 minutes I can discuss. Okay, so okay, it's an interesting point for next Saturday. Next Saturday I will first start with stupa meditation. I'm just writing down on my diary. And thank you so much. Have a great week, and we shall meet next Saturday at 10 a.m. at the same time. Okay, bye for now and namaste. Bye.